Hello everyone, you join me on the hottest day of the year so far in the UK as we delve into the Kiln Line summer update. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Kiln Line. Today, I thought I'd give you a little layout update and a bit of a running session just to break up the monotony of locomotive reviews and also to try kind of help me with planning ahead for what I want to do with the channel. There's a fair bit of work I need to do on the layout at the moment, but since the last update, Cadian Gate has taken a bit of a step forward in terms of it's quite populated now, all ballasted. I just need to paint the crane at the end and put some static grass down on the bits that are supposed to be green, and also drop some more ballast in the bits that are grey. I've also got some more track to lay these sidings here, but for that I need a new point to go in there as well. So that's next on the purchase list, so I can get this whole area fully up to scratch with NG7 or 7mm track, including the standard gauge. And then hopefully this is going to be the kind of like the centerpiece of the layout. It's going to be this is the main station. We have had a new arrival at the layout, that in the form of X, the second manning wardle to the fleet, with Tor over there, and we have this locomotive here, number 5, which will be called Rusty at some point, and there will be a full-on video of this locomotive and how I built it. But for now, it's in the siding next to Sir Topham Hatt because it's a Thomas loco. So there's that. Tom Rolt. I'd love to say that Tom Rolt is actually the flagship locomotive of my railway, but this locomotive has given me more trouble than any other engine that I've ever really run, I think. Mainly because of the B4 chassis. That thing is giving me so much grief at the moment, especially now the weather's getting hot for some reason. The axles keep slipping, so basically every time the locomotive goes round the layout, the front wheels slip on the axles, which means that the quartering comes out on the front wheels, which means this wheel's still trying to go, but this wheel gets stuck and then it all jams together. So I think I'm probably gonna have a look at getting another B4 chassis at some point, but for now, sadly, Tom Rolt is going to be a siding queen. But at least it's on the layout, and you know, it's finished, just needs a new chassis. The other body that I had for Tom Rolt is going to be used as just a static boiler, like ready for restoration. This is going to be painted purple like Ivo hue, and it's going to be permanently here as if it's ready for a steam test. I may get a chassis for it eventually, but for now, that's its fate. Lochton Roman. This locomotive has been a bit of a stalwart since it came out of the works. This locomotive is madly reliable. It does need a front coupling still because they still haven't been sent from Bachmann, which I believe they're due any time now, to be honest. But this locomotive is just so brilliant. It does whatever I want it to do when I want it to do it, and I can't fault it. It's probably the best build locomotive I've ever made, and it looks pretty good too. You'll see this thing running a lot more in future when the couplings are fitted, but right now this engine is really good for replacing X and Tor on the main trains. On the 7mm standard gauge side, I have taken out the double slip, mainly because it was pointless having it, because I do not ever intend on needing the double slip again. I was going to make it a bit dual gauge going down there, but I've since changed my mind, and I think I might just... It was going to be more complicated to make it dual gauge going across a double slip than it is just to fire that straight into that point and off into the shed. So that might be happening soon. Trying my hand at some dual gauge, but we'll see. But for now, I need to get the O gauge set up again so I can run some trains around it, being the Peckett and the Class 08 over there. But yeah, I've got a new point, bit of track. That's next for the standard gauge anyway. And on to the miniature railway. Sadly, this is taking a bit of a back step at the moment while I work on the NG7. But the coaches and the rolling stock are still here. I got this old Farish general purpose tank running nicely, which is good. This is very much a back burner project at the moment. I've got loads of this fencing I need to put in from CB models, which will go around the internal perimeter of the track. And then on to replacing that house and maybe even having like a steam rally or something going on here. But the reason why this is a long-term project is because all the track needs to be ripped up and relayed. It's not very well put down, and it all needs relaying with flexi-track eventually. But that may or may not happen. It depends on whether I actually have the motivation to do it. In terms of new arrivals to the Kiln Line, I have 3 of these Shivers Fine Lines vans to make, and a brake van, kindly given to me by SBJ of Emperor's Path. So I will be featuring the brake van and the vans in their own respective videos as and when I get chance. I've still got 2 Pico kit ones to do yet, which I'm yet to start either of them. It's just finding the time, as it is with everything else with this hobby. But yeah, these kits, this is one that was previously built by SBJ. It's built really nicely, and I can't wait to get some vans on this layout, to be fair. It's one thing I don't have. But yes, that's a future episode right there. Just wanted to show you lot this as well. This is the new carriage platforms from CB Models, and may I say, Callum has done a wonderful job on these. They are the perfect height for the Dapol brake van, and that means that they'll be really good height for the coaches as well. And then the set comes with 2 sets of steps, one for each end. Handrails, it's really easy to put together. Highly recommend it for anybody who's looking for some for their carriage sheds or such like this. Just a branch line platform just to help people get into the brake vans. So, you've just heard me waffle on about the previous projects and the wet state of the Kiln Line at the moment. But to be honest, the future of this railway isn't too sure. We are planning to move house next year, and I am currently in debate on whether to keep the railway in its current form or dismantle it now and try and make something a bit smaller, like maybe using this section here and just looping it round into a smaller layout. Well, that won't be done straight away, but I need to start thinking about the future of this layout in the new house. I'm planning to keep this station area at least and try and evolve something from that. But we will see what happens in the future. But right now, let's see some trains running, shall we? That's what we're all here for. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and even comment if you want to see or hear more from the Kiln Line.